All right, we are back for another stream. And you will notice that right above me is a new word of the stream, and that is ardor, passion, or enthusiasm. I hope you can hear the passion and enthusiasm in my voice when I say that. Hey everyone, Kaz with Elevateyourcraft back for another stream. As I mentioned, word of the stream, ardor. Can't remember where this one came from. This one goes back a little bit in my vocabulary list. So if I think back, I'm trying to, what did I read before my latest batch of books? Oh, you know what? I think it was a Christopher Hitchens piece. I think it was God is Not Great, the book by Christopher Hitchens. If I remember correctly, I might not be. However, if memory serves, that is where I came across that word, and then didn't know what it meant, looked it up, recorded my vocabulary list, and here it is now on stream right above my head. So I'm feeling good. I'm pretty hyped. Just got back from a workout, had an awesome meal. What did I do today? Went to the gym, which, I mean, you might think, why even bring that up or why mention that? Because I normally work out outdoors. If you have consumed any of my content before, it's outdoors, usually, almost always, in fact. And a lot of, if not all of the media, the pictures, the video, the vlogs, all that kind of stuff has been done. Well, the vlogs I started to do indoors a little bit later. But anyway, most of it was done outdoors, and that's really the way I prefer it. But times they are changing, and we still need to get physically active. So today I did some deadlifts, which felt amazing. I'm really getting back into that particular exercise. I've always loved them, but I mean, before the past maybe month and a half, 2 months, I had not done a deadlift in 9 years probably. And going back that far, I had, I'd say, a pretty decent deadlift weight. I mean, at that time, I probably weighed maybe 180. And the max that I did was, it was 3 plates, a 25, and a 10. So 90, so that's 6 total plates. So 90, 180, 270, plus the bar. That's 315 plus 10, 325, and then plus, yeah, so 350. 350, that's not too bad. That is not too bad. So I'm looking to at least get back to that. Right now, I'm just under 3 plates. I'm about 10 pounds under 3 plates. So, I mean, obviously lost some strength for that specific exercise, but, you know, over the years, I've gained a lot of different things. But anyway, that's what the workout started with. I mean, besides a nice 10-minute walk, and then got into some rows, and then lat pull downs, and that was it. And then that was it. Just a bit of stretching afterwards, and came back, made myself an awesome meal, a nice high-fat, moderate protein, very low carbohydrate meal, and here I am. So today we are going to first talk about some jump rope fundamentals, and then play the seventh guest, which I'm so hype about. It has been, when I first came across that game, I was probably like, I don't even know, 9 years old, 8, 9 years old. And I've played it a few times since then. But I want to play it again. I think it's an awesome game. I really don't know if they make games like it anymore. I really hope they do. If you find one or know of one, please let me know. But I'm going to have an awesome time playing that game. But right now, similar to my previous stream, you are noticing a picture of me doing a V-sit on some parallel bars, just as a little background, but then a video that is on repeat. And that is the jump rope fundamentals video that I did. And I'm going to let that run. I'm going to let that repeat so you can get a good visual of what I'm talking about. But the fundamental movements that are in this video are the bounce step, alternate step, foot cross, forward straddle, skiers jump, bell jump, single leg jump, side swing, and double under. Now, I've thought a lot about this over the past couple of years, and I just asked myself, why jump rope? You know, it just seems so arbitrary. You know, why? I mean, but then I'm like, who cares why? It's an interest of yours. It makes you happy. You have fun doing it. Maybe it's pretty niche. I don't know that a lot of people, maybe outside of boxing, do it. But why? Why jump rope? And then I was like, I don't know. Why not? It's an interest. And I guess now I'm learning to follow my interests and not really ask too many questions. You know, I mean, not ask too many questions. That's not really the way I want to put it, but not really compare it to other people on what they're doing, to other activities, you know, and judge it, you know, all that kind of, just let it be, you know, follow your interests, let them lead you. And it really, what I'm of the mind now, what it is, it's picking something, you know, and having the discipline, the focus, being able to break down and analyze what you're doing, challenging yourself. Those are the most important things. And, you know, whatever it may be, it will lead you where it leads you. But it's those skills that you'll pick up and the discipline and the challenges that are presented that you overcome and the mistakes you make and that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking now it's just, you know, who cares why jump rope? Anyway, that's enough of a preamble. But again, this is a video that I created a little while back, just showing off some of the fundamentals of jump rope, the fundamental techniques that you should really just never skip on or avoid incorporating into your training. And it doesn't mean you have to do them all the time. I mean, bounce step, alternate step, you'll pretty much do those all the time because that's jump rope. You're jumping over a rope. So I would even say that those are even more fundamental, the bounce step and alternate step. And then you get techniques like foot cross, forward straddle, skiers jump, bell jump, single leg jump, side swing, and double under. Now, foot cross, forward straddle, skiers jump, bell jump, those are techniques. I mean, really what they do is they change your movement patterns. They force you to adapt to different movements and demand more and different things of the muscle groups. And the importance behind that is not only developing the hand-eye coordination, the strength to do those, but it's really getting or developing your spatial awareness, your proprioception. You know, because I found the last thing you really want to think about when you're jumping and doing whatever techniques you're doing, last thing you want to think about is where your body is relative to the rope. You want to just clear the rope and perform the technique cleanly. You know, the more complex you make things and the more you think about them and all that, it just sort of, it makes things more difficult to process. And of course that comes with, you know, a new technique or anything like that. Those types of things will happen. But that's what training is. I mean, I don't know. Repetition is something that I talk about a lot in my previous podcasts, my vlogs, that kind of thing. Hello, strangers. If you're there, say hello. But repetition, thousands and thousands and thousands of repetitions, really just developing movement patterns and then also trying to avoid movement patterns that really won't benefit your jumping. So the foot cross, forward straddle, skier's jump, bell jump, those are demanding new movements and new movement patterns that will help you develop your spatial awareness and just being more comfortable with the rope. And really that's such a key point, because that's your tool, the rope. You're jumping and you don't want to think about where your body is relative to the rope. You just want to perform the technique and then get over it. So what I usually did with those techniques is incorporate them into my warm-ups. And this was after I developed them. So bounce step, alternate step, just mainstays, absolutely fundamental to jump rope. You'll practice them all the time, just even naturally, by jumping rope. So really just fundamentals that you can't avoid. From there, then you can move on to these other techniques that do change it up, that force you to move forward, that force you to move backward, or that force you to perform two different movements or two opposite movements using both legs. All things that are going to challenge your coordination, your timing, your conditioning. So develop those. I mean, you could even use this order. As with everything or almost everything that I do, it's sort of the path that I took to develop my jump rope proficiency. So it doesn't really have to be in that order, but it's something that you can use as a guide. It's just something that may help. If you like structure, you can use it as a structure to follow. It's something like that. Now, shadow jumping. This is another topic that I did an entire podcast episode on, and is, I think, now with all the experience I have, very crucial and something that I wish I incorporated into my training, into my early training. I use it now, but I apply it to different techniques, not really the fundamental techniques. So what shadow jumping is, and I guess that's sort of a fancy name. I think that's a name that Buddy Lee, he's an Olympic, he trained Olympic athletes. He's a professional coach and an extremely talented athlete and jumper of rope, if you will. I think that's a term that he coined. However, it's a process of breaking down your training into smaller parts that are more manageable. And this ties in so nicely with progressive calisthenics. It's that same idea. It's incorporating the principles of progression in order to be more efficient, be able to handle the training at a better rate, and just be more successful with it. So shadow jumping, the first step would be to just jump without a rope. So to simulate jumping, but without a rope. And if you look at the video and you think the alternate step or bounce step, for the first step you kind of just think of that and then take out the rope. And if you're brand new to jump rope, if you're a beginner, that may seem like an odd thing to do in something fairly easy, but the game changes when you have the rope in your hands versus when you don't. So it's a really good skill to just orient yourself to as if you were jumping rope. And what you also want to do is maximize your technique. Really iron it down, know what you're doing, maintaining that upright posture, keeping your head up, keeping your hands usually around your hips, keeping loose in your shoulders, relaxing, trying to maintain a consistent landing area with your feet, propulsion, landing, trying to keep it in a small area, things like that. that you can just break down and say, okay, I am now going to really focus on wrist rotation, or I'm going to focus on posture. You know, one of the things that I had a lot of trouble with, or a habit that I really had trouble breaking, was looking down. So it took a lot of practice to break that habit, and I still do it, you know, at some points where, especially in rotations, or if I'm trying to perform something that I'm not 100% comfortable with, I'll tend to look down. So the first step is a great way to break those things down and to eliminate the variables that aren't going to serve you at that time. And then once you develop a little more comfort in just jumping in general, and an understanding of what good technique is, you know, is what I'm doing efficient? Am I following proper technique? Then once you have, then you can move on to the next step, which you'd want to keep both handles of the rope in one hand. So the really key factor in this step is, you know, by this time you have an idea of what really good technique is, you've practiced it, and you want to say, okay, I want to break my training down here, but I want to involve the rope, because ultimately that's our goal, to have a rope, a handle in both hands, and we're jumping rope. However, keeping both handles in one hand, you still don't have to worry about actually jumping over the rope. So again, it's managing the variables in your training that aren't necessarily going to serve you at that time. And I've talked about managing your variables in your jump rope training in another vlog. Don't have the episode number right now, but do keep it in mind. So again, it's managing the variables in your training that will best serve you, and then eliminating, for now, the variables that won't. And a really key factor in this step is not only implementing everything that you've trained in step one, but you'll really get a feel for timing and rhythm in this step. And that's a really important part, is not only just kind of doing these things with the rope in mind, but this step will allow you to really see if you have rhythm at all. And I'm fortunate enough to have really good rhythm. You know, I'm not much of a musician these days, but I've spent a lot of my life playing music. I still listen a lot. So I do have a natural sense of rhythm, and something that I'll bring up a little bit later, but if you do have rhythm, that will help you. And if you find that you have some proficiency in that regard, use it to your advantage. Find a rhythm that you can keep up with and apply it. So timing is something that you really want to emphasize in this step. And one final thing is, be sure to switch the handles. So you have, say you start off with your right hand, both handles in the right hand, you know, do one set and then switch the handles into the left hand, because you just want each wrist, you just want to train evenly. So don't forget to do that. Something that I probably started off with my right hand most, but quickly was able to correct that. And then we go on to the third step. So you've practiced sort of the technical aspects, you're getting more and more comfortable with the rope. The second step allows you to incorporate more timing into your jumping and playing around with speed. And then the third step is to, all right, actually put a handle in both hands, and now we're going to jump over the rope. So I'm sure you've seen, whether it was on the schoolyard way back when, or you know, someone at the gym, or you know, children on the street jumping rope or something like that, where they kind of start off in what we call the starting position for jumping rope, and that's with the arms extended out front of you, handles in your hands, and you're sort of pulling the rope against the backs of your knees in order to allow your arms to come back, and you give yourself momentum to start swinging the rope. So what you want to do in this step, and I do have a video of the 3 steps of this, of what I'm describing, on my Facebook page. I don't believe it's on YouTube because it wasn't a very long video, so I only believe I posted it on to my Facebook page. So check it out there. But here it's all about jumping over the rope. So applying everything that you've learned and trained in steps 1 and 2, and then doing it 1 repetition at a time. So you're in the starting position, and then you give yourself a little momentum with the rope, and you want to actually jump over the rope. So the way I do it now is not with bounce step or alternate step, it's just with more advanced techniques, but I still break them down, is that you just want to do 1 repetition. So give yourself some momentum, swing the rope back, jump over it, and then stop. Get into the starting position once again, swing the rope, jump over it, and stop. And if you can do this in front of a mirror, and this is something I'll mention a little bit later, that's ideal. However, you really want to focus on maintaining your technique while getting used to just jumping over the rope. So now we're adding another variable. And then as you get better at doing 1 repetition, then you can start doing either the 1 repetition but less setup time, or you can do 1 repetition, then 2, then 3, and so on. Or you can just do 2. So you just go, okay, I'm going to do 2 repetitions every set and then go from there. Once I can do that, I'll do 3 and then increase the repetitions until you can consistently jump over the rope without catches or mistakes for 1 minute. And that's a really good goal to have. So in essence, what shadow jumping is breaking your training down into manageable chunks that allow you to just perform and focus on the areas that will build a strong foundation for what you need to progress. I didn't start this way. I just pounded right through. I just jumped rope the best way that I knew how, and I made a lot of mistakes. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes too. That just comes with it. But I think I could have avoided a lot of frustration and time spent if I incorporated shadow jumping in my early training. So if there's one thing that I can highly encourage you to do, it's to use shadow jumping. And I dedicated an entire podcast episode to it. And that's the reason why, because I think it's so important. And I also have a video of me performing each step on the Facebook page. So please check that out, Elevateyourcraft, all one word. And it will just, long term, it's such a good play. It will make you very comfortable with the rope, develop your spatial awareness, your coordination, your proprioception, and then also show you what you're strong with and what your weaknesses are. You know, one of my strengths with rope has been wrist rotation and just overall strength in my wrists and in my rotation. And a couple of reasons for this. Was that very early on, I was drawn to long-handled ropes. And I'll talk about the different types of ropes another time, but they can have a very significant impact on your success early on. And long-handled ropes are a little difficult to handle. You have less leverage over the rope, and it puts more demand on your grip strength. They're harder to rotate efficiently. But I was always drawn to them for that. You know, I'm like, well, if I can make my training a little bit more difficult and really torture myself, I guess, how can I do that? Long-handled ropes. But another reason why, and I think the main reason why is I really like performing maneuvers or tricks with rope. And I mean, I have fairly long arms, but I particularly like performing crossbody tricks. So the long handles almost seemed natural, and they really benefited my training. But what it did, and going kind of circling back here, is that it gave me that advantage in strength and wrist rotation and being able to rotate my wrists for power jumps like double unders, triple unders, things like that. It gave me an advantage in that area. But one of my weaker areas has always been speed. And I've never really been able to crack the 200 rotations per minute barrier. I mean, at least for very long. It's the foot speed that I don't have. Although also the wrist rotation speed, just my overall body type. So speed is one of my weaknesses. I tend to use a rope that isn't maximized for speed, not only because of the long handles, but also the length of the rope. Usually, or almost always, if you're really going for speed with rope, you want the shortest rope that you can handle. And you know, the length of my rope, if I were to measure it, the bottoms of the handles kind of goes right up to my shoulders. But people that focus on speed can kind of go down to their armpit or even just below their chest, you know, and they really sort of have a hunched over technique, and they're very quick on their feet and that kind of thing. I never put a lot of focus on that. I was more interested in power jumping, in performing maneuvers and tricks. Again, especially crossbody tricks. So one of my weaker areas is speed, and that's okay. But this process of, you know, using the rope fundamentals to train, but also shadow jumping, will help you determine what you're good at and what needs improvement, and that's valuable. And I for a long time, I've kept a journal, or sort of like I guess it's a journal for jump rope, but not only for my own training sessions, but for everything that I perceive and pick up. And it's actually right behind me in that little drawer or desk, stand-up desk, I guess. And there's a ton of insight in there, and I've based a lot of the podcast content I've generated on it. And, you know, for training sessions, I would say, okay, what did I do well there? What did not go well? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What techniques do I want to learn? What am I having trouble with? What specific mechanics do I maybe need to address with this particular technique, or things like that? So the rope fundamentals, these techniques will help you, like I said, determine those things, but it'll also allow you to build a foundation for the movements that you need, the strength, the technique, the spatial awareness, the balance, all of those things that come with progression, and set yourself up for success. I hinted at this earlier, but there were some areas that I really needed to step back, in almost 2, 3, 4 steps back in some areas, where I said, okay, there's no way I'm going to progress to a more difficult technique unless I go back and essentially rework what I've done. And one of those was side swings, because one thing I started training, and this is a little while back now, maybe a year and a half. I'm pretty proficient with rotations now, but was rotations. And because essentially what you're doing is a forward rotation, jump, bounce step, into a side swing, and then into a backwards rotation. So all of those pieces need to connect, and my side swing really wasn't where it needed to be, and my rotation was better on the right side and worse, of course, on my left. So I really needed to break down my side swing and then also do it, or apply it on both sides. So, you know, if I just broke down the rotation as one segment and then a side swing as another segment and trained them and then added that training together, I probably would have been better off. But I've lost a fair amount of time because I didn't really build the necessary foundation early. So really understand what you're trying to do and then always practice the fundamentals. And I mean, I didn't practice all of these all the time. I would maybe pick 2 or 3 and then incorporate them into my warm-up and then do what I wanted to do. The side swing and the double under. So those techniques are the ones that'll really take your training to the next level. Side swing from a technical standpoint, and then double under also from a technical standpoint, but if you're really interested in power jumping, the double under is just an absolute necessity. I mean, anyone, usually, if people pick up a rope, they know the crossover and the double under. Those are just kind of the 2 techniques that always seem to come to mind for people when they're beginners. And I think it's almost instinctive because there's such, I mean, crossover maybe not so much. It's usually the first technique that people try in which the arms are doing 2 different things. But side swings and double unders, they'll really help take your training to the next level. You know, if you want to do, for side swings, if you want to do things like arm wraps, which were revolutionary in my training, you need to have a proficient side swing. If you want to incorporate more power jumping, double, triple, even quadruple jumps, but then also incorporate different techniques into your power jumps, the double under is an extremely important skill to develop. And that'll help you train your overall rhythm, timing, wrist rotation and strength, power, speed. They're 2 very, very important techniques. And that's why I sort of finished off with those 2, is because they are what you need to reach the next level. So hopefully that video is helpful. It's been playing over and over again so you can kind of get a visual of each of the steps. Kind of the foot cross, forward straddle, skier's jump, bell jump, and those 4 kind of come as one, and I would usually train those together. The single leg jump is a great way to develop power in individual legs. So one thing that I'll normally do is double unders with a single leg. So if you want a little more isolation in your jumping, in your power training, that's a great way to do it. And then you can move on to side swings and double unders. So I took a couple quotes from a podcast, and I believe it was 30? Yes, episode number 30. And I'm going to read the quote, the first quote here. So, quote, "In the initial stages of training, it's unlikely that the type of rope you are using will be of much significance to you, even though I think it is the time when it is the most significant in terms of how it affects your training. A lot of the time, the rope you end up using is whatever's close by or what the gym you go to has. And that's something that I observed in myself. And the reason I bring it up here is that whatever resources you have, if you don't want to buy a rope, or if you want to use the rope at the gym, or for whatever reason, all I want to emphasize is the rope is very important. Not only because of what I've spoken about a bit before, the handles, also the rope length. Oftentimes for people that just pick up a rope, it's not even close to suited to what they need. So rope length is important. How heavy are the handles? What type of rope is it? All of these things are going to affect how you perform at a time in which I would even say you're most vulnerable. And sometimes people train or pick up a rope at a gym where there's other people around. And I've seen it dozens of times where someone will pick up a rope that the gym had, it's not theirs, and they'll start jumping and they make a mistake. They start jumping again, they make a mistake. And they kind of start looking around, you know, how do I look here? They start going again, and then they just make mistake after mistake after mistake, and then they just drop the rope and go do something else. It's a skill-based activity. There's a period at the beginning where you need to develop certain skills. And that's another topic that I'll talk about at another time. But what I want to get across here is set yourself up for success as much as you possibly can to facilitate developing that skill. So I've got resources on what the proper rope length is for you. I've got other resources on the different types of rope. What type of rope do you want to use? What do you want to get out of your training? So if you're able to find the rope that's right for you and cut it to a height or length that is best for you, because those two things will add so much to your training and set you up for success, because then you don't really have to worry about the rope per se. You just have to worry about how you use it. So that's what I want to get across. That's also something that I didn't have right away. I made the mistake of using a steel cable rope very early on in my training. I don't know why. Maybe I saw some sort of CrossFit video or something, but it wasn't a great idea because I wasn't proficient with it, and those things hurt. How many lashes I had on my back, my left arm in particular, because I was catching a lot on my left foot. The pain that I put myself through using that rope, and it wasn't even conducive to tricks, to crossbody tricks, the things that I kind of realized I wanted. But that's just experience. They're hard lessons. I learned the hard way. So understand how the rope affects your training, because you want to set yourself up for success and eliminate the variables that won't help you. Because if you just make it very, very difficult for yourself, you sort of be like that person at the gym that I've seen many times where they're discouraged. They haven't created favorable conditions for themselves. And if you do train at a gym, and this is something that took me a while, is forget about what people think. Wherever you have to train, if you're in front of others and you make a lot of mistakes, and you will, believe me, you will, who cares? Just avoid that and do it for yourself and practice. Like any skill, it needs time and practice and repetition. And then once you reach a certain point, then the sky's the limit. The second quote, and I guess I'll start. Quote, "The second variable is rotation speed. As I mentioned previously, your main concern at this point is developing solid technique and conditioning. Because of this, it can be counterproductive to try and go too fast or too slow. Both require a good grasp on technique, rhythm, and proprioception. Find a speed that's comfortable, one you can manage, and go with it. As you improve, you'll be able to manipulate your speed more readily. For now, try and maintain a consistent speed that allows you to perform as many quality repetitions as you can. One thing that helped me in regards to finding a sustainable speed was counting rhythm out loud. Not only did it help me maintain that rhythm once I found it, but it helped to also ensure that I wasn't going too fast, because if I was, I wouldn't be able to recite the rhythm clearly and consistently. And it also drew my focus away from performing solid repetitions." So the reason I put this quote in And I mean, maybe you could ignore the first part. The second variable is rotation speed, because I was talking about efficiency in the overall podcast. Is all of those things are something that you can apply even at the most basic level. Step one of shadow jumping, find a speed that's comfortable. Step two, with the rope in one hand, find a speed that's comfortable, one that you can manage. Try and maintain consistency. Because once you can maintain consistency at one speed, then you'll be able to increase speed. And that's what we tend to do, is always increase speed. A lot of what I've done as of late is slow things down. Jumping ropes slowly is very difficult. And I would say even harder than playing quickly. And as a musician, that's also where that applies as well. I play guitar and piano. Musicians tend to speed up or want to speed up as opposed to go slower. But if you can play a rhythm slower, play a piece or whatever it is, or in this context, jump rope slower, and do it in a way where your technique is kept clean, that will help you tremendously, because when you want to speed it up, you'll have the foundation to do it. And another key thing there is counting rhythm out loud. That's one thing that I did a lot of. And I mean, I don't do it so much anymore because I don't need to necessarily, but count. Especially if you don't have a natural tendency to rhythm, count out loud. It's a very easy thing to do, at least in your head. I mean, maybe saying it out loud is a little more difficult, but just count to 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just jump to that rhythm. It'll help you not only develop your rhythm, in here, but it'll help your jumping as well. So that's why I thought this was a great quote, because it also emphasizes the need to really maximize the quality of your repetitions. And I dedicated a podcast episode to that as well. Maximize the quality of your repetitions. So, the final thing for the jump rope fundamentals discussion, I can't overstate the importance and how helpful jumping rope in front of a mirror is. And this is mainly why I jumped rope a lot at a local gym, because they had great mirrors and I'd be able to watch myself jump. It allows you to monitor what you're doing in real time and pinpoint your strengths and weaknesses. And the more you break your training down and notice very small things, technical, mechanical things that you're doing, the more you'll be able to improve your training and catch them early. And that's another thing. If you're able to catch bad habits developing early on, that's huge, because you can nip them in the bud and then move on. Because if you let bad habits go for too long, it's very, very difficult to come back from them. You have to really, like I mentioned, I did a few times, take 3-4 steps back and then undo those bad habits and then build the proper habits. So jump in front of a mirror as much as you can. It helped me tremendously. And if you can't all the time, just try and do it as much as you can. And then evaluate, okay, how am I doing? What am I looking for? What's the technique? How should the technique be? And then jump and then see, okay, am I actually hitting that standard? So I think that's a good place to end it. This video that has been on repeat is available on YouTube, Elevate Your Craft, the Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. Check it out there. And I have a ton of other resources on jump rope there as well, all kind of relating to what I've mentioned throughout. But I hope that was useful. If you're starting out, stick with it. It's a skill. It's an excellent, excellent cardiovascular workout, and workout overall, strength workout. It's so good for you if you're willing to put the time and effort to develop this skill aspect. So that's it. That's a great way to end that part. Once again, above me, ardor, word of the stream, enthusiasm, passion. And I hope you've heard that in my voice so far, because I do have great enthusiasm and passion for creating content, quality content that people can consume and benefit from in jump rope, in calisthenics. So I think it was a great word for today. But now we're going to get into a game that has some history, that I have some history with. We're going to switch it up here. The seventh guest. This is going old school right here. I can't remember the exact year this game came out. I think it was 91 or 92. One of the first CD-ROM games for PC. It's sort of a puzzle horror game. One of my favorite games of all time. But we're going to play that now. And I really hope you enjoy this. If you have at any point, feel free to reach out, let me know, because there's a lot of different puzzles in this game. And if you're able to help me solve them, please, at any point, do so. Oh, and listen to that music. And I'll be straight up, too. I mean, I've played this game before, not for a while, and there are some puzzles. Let me just adjust the headset here. There are some puzzles that I just remember. So I'll do those, I'll get them out of the way, but there's a lot that I don't, and they're also, just due to their nature, you can't remember them. So this is the Stauff Mansion. Henry Stauff, a doll maker, sort of a crazed man. He had a vision of this mansion. And I mean, going back even further, he had a vision of a doll in one of his dreams. He was a drifter, a madman kind of thing. And he had a dream one night about this doll. And he got whatever he could and actually crafted this doll and started selling it to the local children. And it was a huge hit, and he built a lot of wealth by selling these dolls, and then he built this mansion. But throughout that process, the children that bought these dolls were dying. And why, I don't really know. They're sort of cursed. But one night, Henry Stauff invited 6 guests to this mansion. And he had all of these different puzzles for them to solve. And here we are. And we're sort of the 7th guest because all those guests disappeared. And as we go through the mansion and solve the puzzles, you learn of what happened to these people. And this little brain thing indicates a puzzle. Now, certain aspects of the game are, do require some parental guidance, so keep in mind it is something to consider. But why don't we get to the first puzzle? And I remember this one, so it's going to be quick. The answer to it is there is no possible way.
You'll need more than lenses to focus your thoughts on this one.
And Stauff repeatedly taunts you throughout the whole process. He's sort of a mean guy. and he will take any opportunity to taunt you, especially if you aren't unable to solve a puzzle.
Now this doesn't make sense.
He will just ridicule you endlessly. So I think the idea behind this one is you go 3 ahead and then 5 back, and you have to just kind of choose the right letters to end on and then create a phrase, and in this case it's "there is no possible way."
A perplexing planetary poser. How puzzling. Perhaps a phonemic path can be phrased with a little postulation.
With a little postulation. So this one's a little bit of a teaser. And there's also in this game the famous microscope puzzle.
What twisted crime of logic would merit such a sentence?
You end up against stealth. And it is a brutally hard puzzle to beat. And I've beat it twice in my life, but with grueling effort, because it's really not easy.
Old Man Stauff built a house and filled it with his toys. 6 guests were invited one night. Their screams, the only noise. Blood inside the library, blood right up the hall, dripping down the attic stairs. Hey, guests, try not to fall. Nobody came out that night. Not one was ever seen. But old man Stauff is waiting there. Crazy, sick, and mean!
Ho ho! Good old Stauff. Not a pleasant man. So you gotta love this UI and the way you scroll and move here. Again, this is old school. I remember being absolutely fascinated by this game when I was a kid. And they released a sequel to it called The 11th Hour, which I will play as well. That game was even harder, and I believe really caused the company or the developer to struggle and eventually, shut down, because the game was so difficult that it really didn't gain enough traction, and it just wasn't a success. But I love the game. I think it's brilliant.
My dear Mr. Dutton, welcome to my house. The arrangement is simple. You are to spend the night as my guest, and in exchange, I will give you your heart's most secret desire. And you know what that is, Mr. Dutton, don't you? I require one thing of you, a special service, a task that I've set up for you.
So now we're getting some context behind
a guest
each
unlike the 6 of you, a very special guest. Your services involve that guest. You must wonder what that service is, but that is the game, Mr. Dutton. The puzzle I've set for you. This is all I can tell you, Mr. Dutton. In the morning, only one of my guests will walk out of this house with his or her.
And this is a puzzle right here, the stained glass. Oh, okay, we can't do it yet. I think we have to do the cake, the graveyard cake, which I believe I also remember. So like I said, there are a handful of puzzles that I just remember.
I guess our host wants us to fend for ourselves.
Oh, I've tasted better
These
fare.
graphics.
At least he left his
Doesn't get any
regrets.
better.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I don't know.
Oh, it says that we're each to have a piece. Exactly the same, including the symbols.
Whoa.
That's impossible.
So that's a hint to the puzzle. So exactly the same, including the symbols. So we have to divide the cake into equal pieces with equal symbols.
Become a
For each
grave
guest.
digger now, have we? You are a glutton for punishment.
So I remember starting out with these ones, this 5.
2 skulls and 2
Two
stones.
skulls, 2 stones.
The rest is just icing.
The rest is just icing.
Puzzling. Some cannot be created more equal than others.
That's a lot of cake for one person. Okay, and they have to be connected. I don't know if this should go. Okay, you can click any other one, but 2 skulls, 2 stones. This seems to ring a bell. Because if I click this one, it leaves these 2, and I have these 2 stones to consider. So I don't think it's this one. Okay, so what does that leave me with, though? Oh, maybe that isn't correct. Because that would have to mean that, well, two skulls, 2 stones right here. Two skulls, 2 stones. Oh, I don't know about this one. Wow. It has to be this. So no, I don't think I got it. Because they have to be adjacent. Yeah. So no dice. Okay,
I
we
won't
gotta
have to
start
start
over.
again.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's this.
2 skulls and 2 stones. The rest is just icing.
What did I clicked the top one last time? I think maybe I did
Some
this.
cannot be created more equal than others.
And then that leaves the yeah. Okay. These and this. Yeah, I think I got it. And then it's gotta be. Yeah, okay. We got it. We got it. Yep, yep. Awesome.
There.
And then when you solve the puzzle, you get a little
Don't
more
worry.
insight into the
I
backstory.
won't bite. Edward, we could help each other out. I could help you, and you could help me. Come and talk in my bedroom upstairs, where it's nice and private.
Well, that can't be good. Okay, so as is always good method, save. Yeah, there's no F5 quick save here. A, okay.
Your game has been saved.
Oh, why, thank you. Return. Okay, now I believe we can do the spider puzzle, which is a pretty cool one. Slowest rotation ever.
It's easy to find a place to start. It's hard to find a place to finish.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, we have to put a spider on 7 of the 8 purple dots. And it's
Which
something
way should
about,
I go now?
like, you move a spider and then put a spider where that first spider was. Because you almost like want to follow, you want them to follow each other.
I wonder if you will get the point of this.
So I would go now, I want to fill in this spot. So in order to do that, the only place I can do it is from here.
Which way should I go now?
And I think you have to do it in a certain amount of moves. But
The points of this star
it only counts as a new
missing something.
move if you move if you create a new spider or move a different spider than you initially moved. So now we want to put one here.
Which way should I go now? There's something missing. This star seems to have lost its sparkle.
Okay, so now we want one here.
Which way should I go now?
Here.
Which way should I go now?
Okay, now we want to fill in where he was.
Which way should I go now?
And that should do it.
Curses!
Kind of creating that star that you draw sometimes.
Come on. Come on. Come. Please.
That scream, though. Quite menacing. Okay. So. Now we go up the stairs, very slowly, mind you, but we go up the stairs. Ooh. Okay, are they leading us somewhere? Okay, we can go in this room. Ah, the games room.
Ah, the madman's playroom. Tell me, madman, can you give me real magic? Can you show me?
Okay, we got another puzzle. This one was always a little bit of a pain.
A queen is
I always
leading
loved the music though.
in every direction.
Trouble is, you're never actually told what to do. With this, you have to put, I think it's 8 queens on the board.
Queens can go anywhere they want, as long as it's in a straight line.
Okay, yeah, so queens can go anywhere they want, but when you put them on the board, they can't actually, like, kill one another. So you can't actually, they can't be in a position to take each other.
8 queens. Each must be out of touch with all the others.
There you go, okay. So if I put one here, for example, this one will disappear. So you kind of just start in an L pattern, I guess. So all of these are out of bounds. So I essentially have...
I'm getting bored.
One more. I mean, all of these horizontal lines are accounted for. It's just this one and this one. But if I put it there, then this one goes. So that's 7 once again. Can't put it here. Now we're kind of back to where we were. That doesn't work. Oh, actually, I think this does. Oh, okay. That went better than I thought it would, actually.
Oh, they want the boy! No! Curse you! You can't! Hey, who are you?
I just want to get out of here. Please, I just want to get out of here.
Who are you? Why did you come here? Wait, wait, I know who you are. I know who you are. You're the 7th guest. And what I just saw, now I understand. Oh, sweet mercy, I understand.
Mister, I'm sorry. I just came here. They dared me.
The king? You're the one.
I'm gonna leave, Mister.
Don't run away, please. Don't run away. Don't go. Don't go. No, don't go.
Alright, so we're not on a bad clip here. That rotation. Alright, we're gonna save. It's sort of the whole Ouija theme for the menu is such a great idea. Your game has been saved.
Your game has been saved.
Well, that's just fantastic. Oh, they're gonna make me rotate again. All right, let's see if we can go into this room. And we can.
Oh, this is all so beautiful.
Look at this bed. Just like the bed I used to have.
The organ, well, the heart, to be more specific.
This plumbing could get you into hot water.
This plumbing could get you into hot water. Okay, so we want the heart to pump blood outside of here. So essentially, I think we work backwards. I think that's the way to do it. Right, so, okay. So we want it to come out here, so... I mean, this one can't be this way. It has to be
There's something
this
not
way.
quite straightforward about this maze.
So in order for it to come into here... I mean, I suppose
You shouldn't have turned down here.
These ones can go this way. Well, no. Okay, so it can't be that. But it can come...
Bad move.
Oh, really, stuff? We'll see, man. Or it could come out this way and then go around. Because there's no alternative. This one has to be this way. So that tells us a lot. So it has to... Well, it doesn't have to. We'll see. It comes in this way, it goes around, and then it comes out. The alternative is that it comes up through this way. No, that can't be it either. Okay, so it looks like this is the way to do it so far. Okay, so this one has to stay this way, otherwise it blocks off this section completely. Okay, so that tells us that it's got to come in this way. And that means that this one has to be this way. So this one is open and then goes in. If it's got to come in this way, this one has to be open. Okay, so from the start, I mean, it can go two paths. So if we leave it this way, it'll come in. I mean, well, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. It comes in, goes around. If we open this one, open, comes back around, that's no good. So this way, comes in, goes this way. Okay, that won't work because that'll just put us in a circle here. So if we do this, that won't work. Alright, so I think it kind of has to go this way. So we're here, we go. It comes up and around, goes this way. That doesn't work. Okay, what do we do this? We go that way. us. Okay, so let's try and stick to the plan. Hello, stranger. If you're there, say hello. Okay, so if we start backwards, kind of come in, goes around, comes up, down through, goes all the way around, that won't work. Okay, this is a little bit tough. Okay, it has to come out through there. So this path, is a necessity. Right? Comes up. Through. Alright, well I think we've tried this one. Steer it this way. So right now we've got it going here, around, and up. Oh wait, actually I think this is it. Can this be it? I think it is. This goes up and around, and down, and boom. Yeah, we got it. We win!
Yes.
Yay!
Wait! Come back! Don't! You have to leave, son. You have to come with me.
Why should I trust you?
Trust him. Don't trust him.
Please, come back before...
Trust him, don't trust him.
Run! Get away!
How did she get behind him standing there? I don't know. A little dramatization.
Once, I had beautiful hair. Once, I was young.
Ah, she wants to be young again.
Oh, yes. Young. That's what I want to be again. Young.
Well, Stauf does promise some sinister things.
I do appear to be free for this
Makes you
dance.
feel like you'll get whatever you most desire.
I should think this is too
she planned. All right. That's a little creepy. Okay, can't quite go into that room. Okay, I guess we go in that direction. I remember the room on the right there. Is the bishop room, and you also see the maze. The maze is creepy. I remember being freaked out when I was younger and being in the maze. Oh. Okay, we can't go into that one. Okay, she's a little more adamant that we follow her. Alright, looks like we get into here, and I believe this is another phrase puzzle, which I remember. The sky is ruddy, your fate is bloody.
Skipping 3s and skipping 5s.
Well, this is the skipping 3, skipping 5s. Okay, not the first
this
one.
wordy tale, but you won't win. You're bound.
There are stars in space,
1, 2, 3.
but no spaces are allowed here. Only stars.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What did Stoff mean by 3s and 5s?
So you can go 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Through. Not really. 2, 3.
I can't just step anywhere.
1, 2, 3 for space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3. Guy is ruddy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 3, 3, 3, 5. Face. Your fate, not fate. Did I say face is bloody? Your fate is bloody.
Don't think you'll be so lucky next time.
Oh yeah? We'll see.
The others will try to beat us. But it doesn't have to be that way. Not if you and I work together. We can solve Stoff's puzzle. We can win. You can get what you want, Edward. What is it that you want? Edward, shall I try to guess? I know where the puzzles are to be solved. I know where the puzzles are. I'll take you there. But first...
The smell
I will give you everything. I will give you what you want.
Interesting. Let's get the heck out of there. So this is the bishop's puzzle. I wonder if we can get into... There's the coin puzzle here. If I remember correctly, it's on like a briefcase or something like that. Okay, nope. Oh, I think there's the kitchen puzzle as well, which is another phrase, or yeah. And I believe I remember that one as well. And see, that's like anything word or language I'm very proficient with. Even just my general skill set, I'm very good with language and words and letters and writing. But logic, mathematics, those are very tough for me. See if the kitchen is open. And it is. So this one, yeah, she's rearranging cans in a pantry.
Yes.
And it has to spell shy, gypsy.
No, it isn't.
Slyly, spryly, tryst by my crypt.
I still... Shy, gypsy, slyly, spryly, tryst by my crypt. What a cryptic phrase.
Here's food for thought.
But the maze? I don't know. The carpet has...
Before this night
the carpet in the bishop room upstairs has a... It has the maze drawn onto the rug. But I'm going into the maze blind because... I don't know where I heard it, but apparently if you are in a maze in which you're looking for the exit, if you keep your finger on the left or right wall, whatever, you pick a side, and you simply keep your finger on that wall the entire time, eventually you will be taken to the exit. All the turns, anything like that, if you keep your finger on that wall or your hand on the wall and just walk, you'll find the exit. Shy, gypsy. So we're going into this blind and we're going to test that theory out. Slyly, spryly. Like, how would you figure this out? I've been trying to think of how, like, even way back when, I don't even think I figured this out. I think I looked it up on what was the internet.
I don't think you can do this.
It was mostly like servers and stuff that you accessed. It wasn't even really the internet. I think I had to look this one up because I mean, shy, gypsy, slyly, spryly, tryst by my crypt. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Tryst. What a cool word. By my crypt. Sweet.
Yes.
Yes. Slyly, spryly, tryst. I didn't even know these were words back then.
Now I've solved it.
That's what's up. Okay, so can we go into the maze? Oh boy, we can. All right, we're gonna save here first. Because if this little maze theory of ours here doesn't work, we might need to abandon ship.
Your game has been saved.
Then maybe if we get through the maze, then we'll leave it at that and play some Magic Arena. But we shall see. Return. Oh yeah, you have to do a little bit of a...
Oh, I'm dying to see
a puzzle here before you get into the maze. So we have to...
Finding things a little grating.
Oh, Stuff. You're so witty.
Nothing ever seems to slide into place in this place.
So you've got to get the top part to follow the bottom part.
If I plan to get around this grate, I'll need to get around.
Which I think I've just done, so... Okay, we're in good shape. Okay, here we go.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so we have to follow the right side of the wall.
Living thing to set foot in these dungeons in.
Awesome.
I can't remember how long.
Which will be kind of hard in a computer game to do. Okay, so we have to follow the right wall, no matter where we go. Okay, so we keep going straight. Okay, so we make a right turn. That's the right wall. We go straight. Right turn, we follow the wall.
Feeling lonely.
Okay, so we make a rotation. The other side becomes the right wall. Okay, so we're gonna turn. Right wall, okay. All right, we got the right wall. All right, so then we make a right turn and another right turn. We're still following. Okay,
Feeling
oh my God.
lonely.
That gives me chills. That freaked me out so much as a kid. Okay, so that becomes the right wall. We make a rotation. and then we follow the right wall. And if I say right wall about 400 times from here on out, I apologize. I just got to keep my bearings here. So right wall. Okay.
Feeling lonely.
Yes, a little. Okay, so this will become the right wall, and this will take us out of this little crevasse. So back where we first entered this room. Okay, so we're following the right wall. All right. Okay, right turn. Straight. Right turn. Another right turn. And a right turn. Okay.
Feeling lonely.
We keep our finger along the wall and then make a rotation. Okay, we're still on the right wall.
Feeling
so that's another dead end.
lonely.
And we do the same thing. Okay, and another right turn will take us out of this other crevasse. Okay, following, right wall.
Feeling
Okay, this did not take us out of the crevasse. Okay, so we keep following the wall, rotation. All right, another right turn. So straight.
Yes. Oh, yes. Keep going this way.
Okay, so maybe we're on the right track. Okay, so right turn. Straight. Straight. My God, looking at that blackness ahead. Right turn. Okay, another right. We're following the wall. Right. Go left, left.
Feeling lonely.
Okay, so we rotate. Okay, so it'll be a right turn and then another right turn. Okay, still following. All right, so this will lead us. Yeah, okay. Because we went right there previously, so now we're on, I think, the right track. We keep going. Okay, we got another right turn. And another right turn. And another right turn, okay?
Feeling
well, at least we're getting all these dead ends out of the way. All right, we follow the wall. Keep going.
Feeling lonely.
A little bit, yes. All right, so we still got our finger on the right wall. We make a right turn and then a right turn.
Feeling lonely.
All right, I guess it's par for course to hit a lot of dead ends if you use this method. Okay, we're following the right wall. That means go straight. And then make a right turn. And we make another right turn. Straight. Okay, and a right turn. Is it another dead end? Okay, we've got a right. Okay, we're following the wall. And we've got a right.
Feeling lonely.
Not encouraging, but we stay true to the theory in order to figure out whether it works or not. I mean, the only way you know it works if you end up finding the exit, but I guess you can just walk through infinitely. All right, and then right. Following the wall, right. So we're essentially just going now back out the way we came. Which is good, because that didn't get us anywhere. Alright, so we're moving a fair bit here. Alright, so right.
You're getting warmer.
Ooh, okay. What?
Feeling lonely.
How can you do that? You're getting warmer, boom, dead end. So that means I should have gone left there, probably. So, but that's where we're gonna go now. So follow the right wall. Now we'll go straight. Right. And another right. Well, no, that was left, and now right. Following the right wall. Hey! Boom!
Don't think you'll be so lucky next time.
Gadget. Alright, so there you go, folks. If you are ever in a maze.
Clearly, an open and shut case.
It may have to be a certain type of maze, I don't know. But keep your finger on the wall and don't let it leave. And it will lead you to the exit. Okay, so this one, I think we have to close all the crypts. And then each one you click on opens and shuts different ones. If you click this, these open or close. It affects these. If you click the middle, it affects this one, and this one. And these ones affect the these three.
Finding things a little cryptic.
And then these affect the top, the one above and below it.
An open and shut case. Or casket, perhaps. The four winds change at every turn?
This game's so good. A lot of different types of puzzles. What a bum. Oh, this is pretty close. We can shut that one. We open this one, but that ends up opening up again.
There's no respect for the dead here. I should let sleeping bones lie.
I mean, with this one, I guess I'm just like totally guessing. Jeez, this might take me longer than the maze. Like, there's gotta be a way to understand this, but I'm just I'm not grasping it. close. Again, one off. Oh, no. Oh, once again. We are so close. Oh, we got it. That's what's up. There you go. A little perseverance can take you a long way.
Come with us now!
Let me go!
There is something wrong with
It's
her.
all right, son. You're okay. Don't worry. It's just an illusion. An illusion. An illusion. An illusion. An illusion.
Okay, I guess we go into the coffin. That's so cool. All right, we did the maze. Okay, so I think it's about time to save. Not before a little drama, though.
Oh, this isn't real. Oh, no.
Oh, a little bit of cheesiness there. I love it.
I smell it. I feel sick.
All right. So, that will be the 7th Guest Adventures Part 1.
Your game has been saved.
Yay! Farewell. Okay. All right, let's get some arena going. Work toward the mono red aggro and is it spells decks? I mean, I'm sure they will be slightly modified after, I think there's another event this weekend at GP. Oh, there was one. I'm sure it's over now, but is it spells? What's in Tactical Assault? I don't know that I looked at this one. Zatalpa, geez, good luck casting that one. And even if you do, probably not going to be on the battlefield for very long. Oh no, we did look at this one. Angelic Reward. I wonder if this is an arena only card. Never seen that set symbol before. Wrath of Mages. Okay, give me a moment. Throw on a little musica. Okay. All right, good stuff. All right, so we're just taking a look at some decks here. Maybe I try Enigma Drake in my Is It Spells deck. Maybe go 2 Crackling, 2 Enigma. I mean, what other 3 drops is it really? Sort of conflicting with. All we can do is try. I mean, May not be so bad, right? Not that one. Is it spells? Yeah. All right, so we're hoping we can get our kind of meta constructed decks together soon. We're only missing, I think, like 4 cards total. We want a mountain. We do have an opt. If this is an aggressive matchup and I don't hit at least a red source for lava coil, it could. I'm on the draw. That helps. I think I'll keep. Okay, that's not that great for us. We could be seeing a turn to Steel Leaf Champion. Okay, so we will respond with an opt. That's not what we want. A mountain, another lava coil. Yipes. Okay, so this isn't good. We do have an Essence Scatter, which is kind of decent. I mean, that was a pretty good draw. Right now, our ideal draw is a Sulfur Falls or a Steam Vents. If we can scatter a good creature, that would be awesome. I think it's worth scattering this so they can't land fix. Or not necessarily fix, but you know, get more lands on the battlefield, because they might not have another land in hand and they were counting on the district guide getting them there. Only taking 2. So that's really good for us, and that's really good for us. So that tells me they don't have land. So do we take out the Llanowar Elves to further constrict their mana? I mean, we do have another... I think we do that. Because we have another Lava Coil. I think it's important to constrict their mana. Because if they don't draw land off the top, then they may not be able to play anything. Okay. Assassin's Trophy, that's interesting. So we don't necessarily want to put a permanent, I mean, the Assassin's Trophy is there. I think we take that out and then pass the turn. Because we know they're not drawing land. They have nothing to Assassin's Trophy. I mean, they can Assassin's Trophy my land, I suppose. If we play Enigma Drake... Alright, so it was really good to take out that Wild Growth Walker because it would have been pretty big. So there is their land. So the Assassin's Trophy, the Enigma Drake. I take 5. Or do we Chemister's Insight and look for more land? Because they're gonna take out the Enigma Drake anyway. So maybe I play this and then hope to draw land and maybe counter magic. Because I think it's important to look for land so we can play Niv Mizzet. Or sorry, Enigma Drake. They use the Assassin's Trophy to take that out. I play Niv Mizzet, and then maybe they don't hit another Assassin's Trophy. But I'll be at 6 life, so we got to get moving on this. So we can play the Enigma Drake. And then dive down next turn. Or do we save? I mean, it's important we keep the Enigma Drake up, I think, because we do have to block. So I think I just pass. Because he might try the Assassin's Trophy on my end step. And that's really good to get the Assassin's Trophy out of their hand. Hopefully I hit a red source and yipes. Okay, well, they can just take it out.
It's time to step out of the shadows.
Wonder why they wouldn't do that pre-combat. Is there something I'm... Interesting. Okay, I don't know. We didn't hit land. We can play another Enigma Drake, but I think either way, if we can't... I mean, Shock's good. Essence Scatter. Right now, I don't think that's great. Okay, there's that island. We can shock. The Jade Light Ranger. Because at this point, we're worried about our life total. But they can't minus Vraska. And then we can play Niv Mizzet next turn. So hopefully we can stabilize somehow. Oh no, we can't play Niv Mizzet because I need a red source.
Make way for your captain.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it too. Okay, so that looks like a pretty beefed up meta Golgari deck. Didn't hit our land. I think if we did get, dual land of some sort there and didn't miss a land drop, we probably could have done something. Like maybe against Golgari, this is kind of slow, but I do like, I do like the land base. I'd have a bit of removal, but there won't really be any instants or sorceries in the graveyard. I'll keep it. Could be a mistake. And of course, there's Niv Mizzet. Love him. Okay, the Essence Scatter is pretty good, but I'll be down to 13 already, so this isn't great. Okay, we'll be down to 11. 10. I mean, that's kind of nice, I suppose. What does this do? So if we take out the Legion Lieutenant, that'll drop to a 2/3. But we're still losing that extra life. Which isn't great. So we've got to hope we can stabilize here and they don't have just pure action in their hand. Yeah, that really hurts. Well, we can play the Enigma Drake. I mean, we wouldn't have had mana open for Essence Scatter anyway. Beacon Bolt is not going to do anything. So I guess let's try it. I mean, this is going to be a 5/3. Okay, that'll do it too. So we are done. Man, 2 rough games from the get-go. But that was a bad hand to keep for an aggressive matchup. I mean, that's a tough part, is you never know what you're playing against, right? So, and you don't have the opportunity to sideboard. Black or green spells. So let's maybe try and play what's in this deck? Good old Slimefoot. Love him. Yeah, let's give this deck a shot. I mean, we want to get those rewards too. That way we can get packs and then hopefully get the cards we need for our meta, you know, sort of meta competitive decks. I am on the draw again. We have a good blocker. We have a land base. We have a vicious offering. So on the draw, okay. You know, don't have a lot of experience with this deck, so more land. We don't have a 1-drop, so let's just play it tapped. And there's that beast, so let's cast that and pass the turn. At 6 mana, I mean, there's really no pressure right now. So I think we also want to do something. But that thing's just going to come back, so we can attack, they block, they assemble it, but I have a 2/2 now. So I guess Okay. So he'll get that back up. Yep, resolve. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to attack. They can just double block and get value from everything, so. Okay. Well, so we can cast this for 4. Can't quite kick that yet. I mean, if that goes through, that's pretty tough to... Wow, okay, a mountain. So we got Rakdos here. You may sacrifice another creature. So we're at 6, so we can kick it. I mean, I think we can just leave it. If they have a board wipe, that's unfortunate. But we have plenty of creatures to sacrifice for the 6/6 flyer demon. We have lots of creatures, so I mean, we can afford to sacrifice some. Okay, this we can cast. I mean, I think we kind of just pressure with the demon. Flyer if they can't remove it. Like, I mean, we just swing with everything, I guess. Okay, so upkeep, I've got to sacrifice a creature. Okay. So I think they're taking 4. I mean, the 6 in the air. Okay. Okay, resolve. Don't need those anymore. Spore Swarm I'll cast on their end step. Okay, and they've conceded. Yay, 250, 20. Yeah, so we're working toward these achievements here. That'll help us get some packs and hopefully get the cards that we need to put together our competitive decks. And then we start to rock some more competitive games. I'm on the draw once again. We do have black and green mana, so if we draw another land, we're in decent shape, I think, so I'll keep that. I mean, we don't have any double green or double black in this hand. Or island. Okay, so if they play an island, or maybe do we want a fungal infection now? That way, I mean, we can't stop them from playing an island, and I think we're going to get value now. Okay, so there's the island, right? So that's the incentive of doing it on our main, second main. Okay, so we can just attack for 1. And pass it. Pass it. Okay, so we did hit 3 land. We have black, green, so that's pretty good. Deathbloom, Thallid. I mean, let's play the Sap Herd, I think, before the Deathbloom. Because if they have any sort of response, like a counter or removal, I mean, they're blue-green, so, you know, counter would be more likely, I think. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so that's a really good blocker on their side. I mean, we have to pretty much go wide here. I think this is pretty good to play now. If they attack, we can block with one of the sapperlings. We can create more. So getting the poison tip archer out now, I think is pretty good. Because we get Path of Discovery. Okay, that's good. We can see... I think there's incentive to attacking with the sap herd here because there's a 1/1 and they don't really want to block because they'll take damage from poison tip archer if they do. But I guess it's 1 damage instead of 2, so maybe it is worth it. Oh, okay, fair enough. So we'll be taking 3 here. This, yeah, okay, so it doesn't really matter. We want to continue to get value off of Poison Tip Archer's triggered ability. So I don't really want to block anything that will take it out unless I have to. Spore Swarm's not too bad here because it will buy us time with blockers and then continue to pressure our opponent. So that's 4. And then I can play the Doom Dissenter. And we can explore lots. I kind of like that because I don't really, like, the more I can just block. This really devalues my explorers here, but I think I want the Doom Dissenter. Play that. So we basically lost value for 4 explorers. Which maybe it would have been a better play to so I don't know if they have some sort of combat trick here, but okay, whatever. Yep, I want that Doom Dissenter. I better want it after all that. We'll graveyard that. Doom Dissenter. And there's the land, that's good. So 5, or do I do 3, 5, 7? That's a 2-turn clock. We're not under too much pressure, so I think I do attack with all of these. And then I block one with the Doom Dissenter. Okay, there we go. It's kind of a cool deck. Oh, there's some reward. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, we almost have 2 packs. So we might as well just play another one. Get enough for 2 packs, then open those. So this is interesting now because we're playing a totally different deck. We don't, all that sort of mulligan and, you know, knowing what our ideal draw is here is out the window because I really don't know exactly what's in the deck. And in all honesty, it makes it kind of fun in a different way. Well, I'm on the draw again, so that's 4 times in a row. Based on our hand, this isn't actually that bad. I'm on the draw. I can draw green source. We have removal. And we have a costly plunder, so we'll see. I think this will work out okay. All right, and it has. So we don't need to reveal that we are black-green yet. So they have 3 up. So they could potentially have a counter spell. So I probably want to play Thallid. If they do, yeah, so that's fine. I really value Slimefoot, so I want to make sure that I can get him out on the board. A dive down. Okay, that's good to know. So 2, they could have a scatter. 4, I can cast the Thallid again. Or do I try and go for a Doom Dissenter? I think I can do that. Yep, okay. Sacrifice. Is sacrifice dying? I guess it is. I'm just trying to think, if I cast the Costly Plunder on end step and sack the Doom Dissenter, will I get the 2/2? But let's see. There's one way to find out. Okay, so it does. That's pretty good, unless it gets countered. But I don't know that they can. Okay, yeah, Spell Pierce, fair enough. Okay, so they're tapped out for the most part. So I think we cast Slimefoot. Slimefoot always drew so much hate in limited play. Do we take out the Mistcloak Herald? They have 4 mana up. I think I want to try, because if they have counter, it's not that bad. That's fine. I have 5 mana. What? Essence Scatter, Spell Pierce. So maybe they block and then dive down. I can't block the Mistcloaked Herald anyway, so maybe we get a little bit of pressure on our opponent. So they're thinking, maybe do I bounce? Maybe with a blink of an eye, or... Or they're AFK. Could be as simple as that. It just gets scary if all these enchantments start coming down onto the Mistcloaked Herald. Yeah, there we go. Like, that's when it gets a little scary and they just draw cards. But if we can just go wide enough, and, you know, win the race, then it's not so bad. They have 4 mana up. I think they're debating whether they play a creature or leave counter mana, or yeah, counter mana up. So they all do 2 damage. I think I swing in with everything and then maybe play the Sapper. Or do I leave Sapperling mana open? Can't block that, I can't block that. So I think I just wait until their end step and create another Sapperling, or my first Sapperling. They're going to be drawing a lot of cards. So they must have something, because I have lethal next turn. Okay. I think that'll do it. I can't block. 3, 5, 6. They're tapped out. Or I play, I gotta sacrifice 2 creatures though. Maybe that's the play after. If I survive. Okay, that's pretty good. Lots of cards for my opponent. Lots and lots of cards. Okay, 3, can get rid of that. Well, they can If I play the Sap Herd, I do have mana open for the Vicious Offering. If I play the Sap Herd and they counter it, that's kind of okay, I guess. Because then I can Vicious Offering the Night Veil Sprout, they sack the Storm Tamer. Okay, we'll try it. Hoping to draw something out of their hand. Okay, and I want a Night Veil Sprite. I want to target the Night Veil Sprite, so they sack this, if they do. See, what I probably should have done is sacked the Saproling, and then targeted but I can't, I don't have lethal anyway. Because they block the Death Bloom, and then I only do 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I guess I attack, because I can't really do much else. And by that I mean I can't block anyway, so. Boom, 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 now. Boom, 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 now. Okay, so they, I mean, they probably have it in hand. I mean, and by that I mean they probably have the win in hand. Because they wouldn't, I don't think, just attack. Or they're maybe hoping to draw into blockers. I mean, I don't know what my draws are, so I don't know what I need. A fungal infection would be cool, but they have lots of mana open and can likely counter. They've drawn so many cards. They've drawn so many cards. Okay, they block, and then and do I maybe sack those? Thinking, what can I return? A vicious, can I return, is it a creature? Yeah, target creature. Okay, well, I think I just attack. Go figure they have a bounce spell or... They'll just block, well, again, they probably have a bounce spell or something, and they don't need to block with the Mystical Carol. Yep. Yep. Okay, well, those can't be blocked. So I will just end and let my opponent take it in style. Yep. Go for it, homie. GG. Yeah, not a lot of great ways to deal with flyers in that deck. So I think the idea is to just go wide. Okay, there's that, but only one of. I guess the poison tip archer is kind of nice. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we just didn't hit our answers, but that's pretty cool. Beginning of your upkeep, if you have the city's blessing, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. Each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life for it. That'd be beastly drawing this, the Verdant Force. So white or blue. So let's see what white or blue decks we have. Artifacts attack. Wow. Whenever Azor attacks, you may pay X, white, blue, blue. If you do, you gain X life and draw X cards. I've never seen this card. Nezahal, the All-Star. Kind of the closer in control decks. Let's give this one a shot. And this kind of thing's cool because it helps you get to know different cards. We're on the draw again. I think that's maybe 6 times. Not. Not a Sky Scanner on the draw. 7 drop, not great here. But we have the Sky Scanner. We have the Prodigy. We have a bit of disruption. Yeah, sure. I wonder if they match you up with others that are playing the starter decks. Okay, so we do want to draw a 3rd land here. Either color because... Oh, no, okay, Sky Scanners draw a card. I thought it was some sort of land fixing. Okay, so that's not great. Oh, my bad. Oh. All right, so this isn't looking good. If we hit a white source, we have a couple sealaways. No blockers. There are 5 lands. We are at 2 blue. This is not great. They have mana to pump the Veiled Shade. And, I mean, I don't know. I think we need to block. They'll probably have something. Or they just get the Saproling. I guess that's not so bad. Okay, we are going to concede, my friends. No land drops for me. No land drops for poor old me. Been an awesome stream so far. Had some intense rope talk, some 7th guest. Now we're on to Magic. I'm on the play. Okay. I gotta look at the land base of this deck. More islands. I probably just want to play this. And leave the Gearsmith back. Like, if they want to pump the Banneret, okay, well, there's a white source. Five, 3, that's not great because a poor old Goblin Banneret's gonna be taking out a Juggernaut. That becomes a 2/2. Or do we play... The Relic Runner won't be blockable if we play the Juggernaut, so maybe we just do that. Get 2 damage in. And that could be a good way, if our Aether Shield Artificer stays around and just can pump our Juggernaut, that's pretty good. I'll trade the Firebrand. I think the Prodigy for the Firebrand, I think. That's got to attack anyway. Seal Away is actually really nice. So it's a 7/5, it has to attack. I did not cast a Historic, so I think just the 1 attacker. Okay, that works too. But it's indestructible, so I don't think they can do much there. Okay, and the seal away is nice. So like I said, if they can't remove this Artificer and Juggernaut, they're in a lot of trouble. So we're looking at a Goblins deck. This is sweet. Okay. So I think we have to seal something away. And then just hope we hit Nezahal and can maybe do some work for us. But they're going to be casting pretty much all non-creature spells, or creature spells. That'll be a 4. Okay, so we are going to seal this away. Because I think it has the potential to do the most damage. Oh, it's Menace, right? So we're going to lose all our creatures here, but probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, no, we got that. So we have Nezahal. I mean, it's really all we got right now. Okay, I mean, we're still going to get some value out of it, I guess, if they cast non-creature spells. Okay, I mean, seal away is good. If we accumulate 3 cards, Oh, did I do that wrong? Yeah, I did that wrong. Yeah, I should have waited. Yeah, because there was no tapped creature at that time. So I shouldn't have casted that in response. My bad. Shows you how much I play Seal Away. Okay. So it doesn't seem like this is a very competitive deck here. But, I mean, we're not really expecting it to be. Yeah, this is a mulligan, I think. That's good. We want that land. So I think they have a response. Okay. That's fine. Don't need to show white as of yet. What do we cast here? Skyscanner will draw us a card. I think we'll get this guy in play. Get in for one. But I imagine they have a fair amount of burn. 4 is a nice number, but lava coil's still a problem. Okay, Pioneer, maybe attack for 4 in the air. That Artificer would be kind of nice right now. Like, we don't really have any way to get rid of this Gutter Snipe, so that's kind of unfortunate. Four, 6. I Like, they've used a lot of resources to get rid of what I have. So if I'm able to... Okay. Another sky scanner. Awesome. Like, really, I'm just hoping for blockers at this point. Okay, so they can... Oh, they don't have the mana to... Well, yeah, I got a block here. But I think I just die because of the gutter snipe. Well, let's cast these spells, so at least we get credit for casting them. We'll need to keep disperse mana up because they're going to want to gutter snipe kill me with the beacon bolt. So let's do that. Okay. So those will do it anyway. Okay. Fair enough. Harsh road, my friends. A harsh road. 25. We're getting there. I don't know if I want to keep playing this deck. This is pretty discouraging, I gotta say. What about arcane inventions? Good old Zahid. Alright, our goal here is to cast 5 more spells. Blue or white. How many blue? Actually, this one seems like a better option here, so let's go with that. Don't believe we've won a game. But at this point, we are just working to get the resources we need to get our competitive decks together. Okay, we have... Okay, Kitesail Freebooter, that's nice. Murder, that's nice. Within Magic, of course. Okay, we'll do that, and then do that. Okay, and they play a tapped land. Okay, so we'll play Kitesail Freebooter. Ooh, I think it's history. But they can cast down to get the history back next turn, so that's not... And then, yeah, what I should have done there was also consider the mana base too. So it's one less to cast, right? So it'll be 3. So we're pretty heavy on flyers here. I don't know how they're going to deal with the flyers. Okay, there's that. No blockers. If we hit a black source here, okay, so we just kind of have to play that tapped. We will have 2 black sources. Like, are we winning this race, though? That's the problem. Five. We can murder. We'll be taking a fair bit next turn if we just leave everything open. So I think we gotta hold back. Six. No, we can't play that. Like, I don't really want to block with a kite sail. Oh, what am I doing? They have the Griffin. That was a mistake. And now they get the cast down back, so My friends, I believe this game is over. I can sack that. But I mean, it still gets rid of an untapped creature and they just swing with everything, so they still have lethal. I mean, they're getting in for 2 for sure. I don't even think they needed to do that. We are having a rough go here. Two more. So we can do it with our Is It Spells deck and maybe have a chance of winning as opposed to these starter decks. Let's give it a shot. 2 more blue spells. We should be able to manage that. Then we get some gold. And then we open some packs and hopefully get some stuff that we are looking for. Okay, this is really good against a aggressive strategy. It's all the steam vents, the shock lands though, so it could really hurt. And then if it's not an aggressive matchup, it's not the best hand. Okay, so we'll play that tapped. And then maybe we can play let's make him pay 4 life. Well, they'll have it till end of turn, right? So I was thinking I shock again, but that wouldn't be productive. Like, look, we have to pressure them in some way. If they're going to pressure their life total, I'm going to leave Essence Scatter mana open. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I copy that. It's actually pretty good. Okay, So I'm not worried about the Vanguard that much anymore. Do I lava coil the martyr? I think I kind of have to. Do I target that again? I think I'll do that. Because I'll trade with the Martyr of Dusk if they attack. Oh, that's kind of annoying. The life link sucks. This all kind of sucks. Well, I think I lose, my friends. Oh, gosh. This is rough. All right, we'll call it. Holy. Ah, yay, there we go. Okay, so at least we get our reward. Kind of needed after that showing. So I need Runaway Steamkins, Rekindling Phoenix, and Arclight Phoenix. So, I think maybe Guilds packs is best. I mean, it would be cool to pull a Rekindling Phoenix. Okay, that's not what we need. We're 2 away from a rare wild card. While I do like Mission Briefing, it is not what we were hoping for. I'm not sure if they changed it, but if you do hit a Mythic, this would go red, and at least I think it would. Well, if it's a Mythic wild card, not if it was just a Mythic actual card that you pulled, but okay. I think that's it. Awesome stream today. I mean, as far as everything else, Magic wasn't so hot. We're falling in the ranks, but again, long-term planning here. We're grinding for cards that we need to make a competitive deck. We're pretty close. But the jump rope talk, I think, was awesome. The 7th guest, a lot of fun. So hopefully that was entertaining. Hopefully you learned something. Word of the stream, ardor. I hope you can, especially when I was talking about the jump rope stuff, you could hear and perhaps feel the ardor in my voice. And at the very least, hopefully you just learn a new word. So that's it for me today. Looking forward to the next one. Got a lot more to share with you guys as far as cool stuff, information, and games to play as well. So that's all I got for today. Until next time, you guys take it easy.